Chancellor. Lord Julian Hunt. Climate change is one of the defining issues of our time. We witness its effects at the large scale through melting glaciers in the polar regions, raging wildfires, and rising sea levels endangering coastal regions. Our understanding of the contribution of mankind's activity to climate change, as well as our response through adaptation and resiliency, is evolving as we see the effects on our built and natural environments, locally, regionally, and globally. Today we are honoring Lord Julian Hunt and his lifelong dedication and contributions to climate change research. One of the leading climate change scientists in the world, Lord Hunt has provided profound evidence to the effects of climate change. He is a leader in developing new approaches to modeling turbulence, atmospheric flows around buildings and over mountains, and the dispersion of environmental pollution. Through his research, Lord Hunt is able to bring climate change issues, such as the problem of pollution on the built environment, to the human scale. His advocacy for creating sustainable solutions to these complex issues endorses a holistic approach, one that calls for bridging technologies and policies with public awareness and activism. Born in 1941, Lord Julian Hunt was a scholar at Trinity College, Cambridge, where he obtained a first-class honors degree in mechanical sciences in 1963, and was awarded his PhD on aspects of magnetohydrodynamics from Cambridge in 1967. He was elected to a fellowship at Trinity College in 1966. A thought leader in the area of climate modeling and climate change, Lord Hunt has held several visiting research appointments across multiple continents. He has been greatly involved with the Institute of Mathematics and its applications. He was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society in 1989. He was Director General and Chief Executive of the Meteorological Office from 1992 to 1997, and was created a Baron in the House of Lords with the title Lord Hunt of Chesterton in May 2000. Lord Hunt is currently a visiting fellow of the Malaysian Commonwealth Studies Center in Cambridge University, as well as Professor Emeritus of Climate Modeling in the Department of Earth Sciences and Honorary Professor of Mathematics at University College London. In 2001, he was awarded the L.F. Richardson Medal for Nonlinear Geophysics by the European Geophysical Society. Lord Hunt is chairman of Cambridge Environmental Research Consultants, which is working worldwide on air pollution modeling and forecasting. He can be credited with helping to create the standard model for air pollution dispersion currently used by the United Kingdom Environment Agency. He also played an active role in negotiating the international exchange of data for the National Meteorological Services as a member of the Executive Committee of the World Meteorological Organization. Lord Hunt has advocated for the need to address climate change through developing public understanding, applying practical measures, and enforcing policies. While climate change is certainly a global issue, Lord Hunt has argued for empowering people and organizations to act locally to reduce risks in their communities. This requires a deep understanding of the effects of urban development on regional climates, as well as the effects of climate change on our infrastructure and the natural environment. Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor and in the name of the Senate, I ask you to confer the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, upon Lord Julian Hunt.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Acting Chancellor, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa. Congratulations, Dr. Hunt.
Thank you very much.
Pose for the cameras. On behalf of all assembled here today, I should now like to invite our newest alumnus, Lord Julian Hunt, to address Convocation.
Ladies and gentlemen, students, fellow academics, if I may say so, fellow members of the Commonwealth. It's an honor to be here at Western University's degree ceremony for graduating engineers and dentists. This university is renowned for its innovative developments in engineering and also famous for its dentistry. I learned that these were two great subjects at Western University when I got my shuttle bus yesterday evening and did a little survey in the shuttle bus as to what was famous about Western. So I got the right answers for today. But I am particularly familiar with the research pioneered here by Professor Alan Davenport, and it's a great pleasure that his widow is here with us today. And Alan had a great international team of colleagues using computational engineering and wind tunnels, working with the world's leading architects and structural engineers. This led to elegant new designs of buildings and structures that could withstand great wind forces, and they were also planned so that winds at ground level around buildings do not blow people off their feet. However, I had a slight disagreement with the plans from Western about this tall Canadian building in London called Canary Wharf, where the winds, it turns out, were a bit too much for us feeble Brits, who are not as robust as Canadians. So one of the points about engineering is you've got to think about the different people involved. Another achievement of the Western team was to help meteorologists. And I used to be head of the Met Office, and very kind words were made about the work I was doing in climate. So his team was to help meteorologists to change their methods of analyzing extreme gusts so as to ensure the safety of tall buildings or very slender bridges. The tradition of innovation in wind engineering lives on in Western with Professor Horia Hangan's new Windy facility for simulating more complex types of downbursts and tornadoes. These are examples of advanced engineering that bring together science, technology, together with social, environmental, and business considerations. Similar examples of broad and multidisciplinary developments in engineering are enabling billions of people around the world, especially those in areas with extreme environmental conditions, to live in greater health and with access to housing, jobs, and education. But engineering also has to find competitive solutions to economic and social demands, at the same time as reducing demands for carbon fuels and damaging impacts on the environment, which occur from, we have to consider the natural reserves and the effects of noise, pollution in cities, and so on. Sometimes engineers need the help of naturalists and biologists to find these greener and very high-tech solutions. Recently, aeronautical engineers and zoologists are studying the remarkable way that owls' feathers break up vortices in the wake downwind of their wings. Airbus and university engineers in Toulouse in France, where I visit, are now combining these concepts to control flexible wing surfaces. So the wings you're going to be seeing, you will see, I will not see, probably in the 1920s, will look a bit like the ones I used to see in comic strips in the 1950s. Extraordinary flexible wings, triangular shapes, the fuselage inside the wing. These are the kind of things that will happen. One of the results of these new type of wings, will reduce noise and drag forces, leading to less fuel consumption. On another aspect, as technology becomes faster and more convenient through communications, electronic data access, and computational modeling, people's habits and expectations are changing about what can be done with these techniques. Social networks connected to computer systems now enable individuals or organizations to supplement or question official data by monitoring and reporting on evolving situations in the environment, such as the emission of pollution or flooding. For example, in a network that I'm involved with from Italy called Cucumber, not to be confused with another cucumber, which is ladies' jerseys, I believe. This data is displayed on Google Map and evaluated by people to estimate the health or other environmental impacts. This information is then used by environmental agencies for prediction and safety measures over wide areas. This kind of informal social information is leading to many lives being saved in areas like the Philippines, where with natural disasters and flooding and people's houses being destroyed coming one year after the next. So these are just some of the exciting and beneficial technical and social developments that I have seen in my own career and that I have really enjoyed as an engineer, environmental scientist, politician, and small-time entrepreneur. You know the joke about entrepreneurs. President Bush said that's the word the French don't have a word for. Anyway, in congratulating you as graduating engineers and dentists, firstly, I hope you will have fruitful and exciting careers. But secondly, although you are young and fit now, I hope you will join other engineers and dentists around the world in applying bio and medical engineering and dentistry research to improve lives of sick, disabled, and elderly people. There are often extraordinary benefits for everyone when such disadvantaged people can turn their lives from being passive to making great contributions, as one could see in remote communities in India, where laser eye surgery enables villagers to become productive in their farms, while I, in Cambridge, was privileged to see how Stephen Hawking fought back against his motor neuron disease to be able to inspire physics students all over the world. That would have been impossible without the technology that enabled him to communicate. You all now have a great future ahead of you, but remember too that a bit of luck will help as well. There is no formula, but keep a good lookout.